Hello and welcome to the Gifford Gymnasium for tonight's matchup between your Wayne Hills Patriots and the Highlanders of West Milford. I'm Tom Patania here alongside John Vittas. John, this year the Wayne Hills Patriots have a new coach. How do you think the team's going to fare?
Well, they introduced Paul Pollock in his first season as the Wayne Hills head coach, replacing Coach Catalano, who had a mediocre career here at Wayne Hills. The athletic department decided to go in a different direction with Coach Pollock, and he brings in a new style. He goes with a Princeton offense on O. He goes with a disciplined, low-tempo, passing the ball around, taking advantage of the fact that there's no shot clock in high school basketball, trying to keep the games low-scoring and competitive.
And I think that's going to fare very well with your great shooters with Sam Pressler and Matt Heskins. I think it's going to give them a chance to shoot from outside and open up some opportunities for them. Now, last year we had Chris Fonte, Joe Brandel, Matt DeBlock, and some other great players. How do you think that the team this year will be able to fill in those holes?
Well, those are all big holes to fill, as well as Mike Quinn, who you didn't mention. All four of those guys were significant contributors for this Wayne Hills basketball team last year. Three of those four guys, Fonte, Quinn, and DeBlock, were forwards down low for Wayne Hills, all over 6'2". All those are big guys that Wayne Hills is going to need to replace. The only big player that comes back is Peter Davies, and Corey Vanderploeg is going to get time as well. Wayne Hills has holes to fill down low, and because of that, Sam Pressler is going to have to drop down from a 2-guard to the 4, and height is going to be a factor and a weakness for Wayne Hills all season long.
Yeah, definitely, especially in tonight's game. West Milford does have some big players. Now, West Milford has a great team this year. The game's going to be pretty equal. What do you think is going to be the deciding factor?
Well, it should be a very even matchup. Last year, Wayne Hills 12-12, a 500 season, and West Milford was 15-11. They both didn't fare well in the state playoffs, but they're here for revenge. They both returned 2 of their top scorers, so it should be an even matchup. I think it's going to come down to who plays better defense tonight, and it's going to be a close game. There's no question about it. Matt Heskins and Sam Pressler are going to have to hit their shots, though.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be the keys to the game, and we're definitely going to need to step it up on defense tonight. And now we're going to send it up top to start the game. I'll be back in a few minutes.
But here we go. Lucas will inbound the corner with 3 minutes to go. She gets it to Giametta. Giametta corrals it, puts a shot on net. Deflected into the net. A goal by Brittany Galone, and Wayne Hills wins the North 1 Group 3 state championship.
Oh, baby, call your brains. Call your brains. Wayne Hills state champions, baby.
Couldn't script it any better, Joe. Couldn't script it any better myself. What a shot by Brittany Galone off the deflection from Jacqueline Giametta, and Wayne Hills wins the North 1 Group 3 state championship in dramatic fashion.
The visiting Highlanders of West Milford High School and the home team Patriots of Wayne Hills. And the NJSIAA continues to remind us with the following announcement. Spectators are to remain in the stands at all times. Additionally, NJSIAA regulations state that any negative comments directed at opposing cheerleaders, players, coaches, or officials, as well as opposing spectators, are unacceptable and will be cause for immediate ejection from this gymnasium. We are also reminded that state law has designated this a smoke-free campus. Accordingly, smoking is prohibited on school property. The administrators of both schools encourage supporting the team of your choice while respecting the opposition. Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy the game. The officials in tonight's game are John Sheehan and Anthony Redden. And to introduce the coaching staffs for the visiting Highlanders, head coach John Fink and his assistants Jamie McDermott and Paul Bonney. And for the home team Patriots, head coach Paul Palak and his assistants John Goldstein, Tim Palak, and Alex Lagasse. Now for the starting lineups for the visiting Highlanders. Junior guard number 10, Tyler Maurer, number 10. Junior guard number 33, Garvin Jones, number 33. Senior guard, co-captain number 20, Connor Healy, number 20. Senior forward number 42, Jordan Wright, number 42. And senior forward and co-captain number 23, Tyler Coyle, number 23. And for the home team Patriots, senior guard number 5, Mike Drees, number 5. Junior guard number 11, Darius Haber, number 11. Senior forward number 35, Matt Heskins, number 45. Senior forward number 42, Sam Pressler, number 42. And senior center number 40, Peter Davies, number 40.
Well, as we get set to kick off the 2010-2011 season, Tom, obviously had a lot of butterflies going through a game like this. Both teams brought their student sections, which is a great thing to see. We know West Milford's fans always travel well, but last year the Goonies disappeared, and they're back to support this team, and it's great to see. But a new coach and a freshman in the Wayne Hills starting lineup, those two guys have to have a lot of butterflies right now. Going into a big game like this, how important is it to keep those butterflies in check and not let it affect your game?
Oh, butterflies, without a doubt. As a freshman coming up on a varsity level with this many fans, I can only imagine how the freshman is feeling right now. And the new coach, I mean, coming into a program like this at Wayne Hills, you know, you have some players here that have been playing for years, and just to come in and coach a great team like that is just going to be big for him.
Well, of course, we're referencing the new head coach, Paul Pollock, who brings in a new style on offense with the Princeton-style slow-paced offense. And Scott Wills is the freshman guard that will be starting for Wayne Hills tonight. He's going to get a lot of time, and it's very rare. Actually, he's not going to start tonight, as he does start on the bench, but he's going to get a lot of time in this game. I talked to him before the game. He said he's not nervous at all, and he's ready to go, but I sense a little bit of a lie there. It's his first game. There's got to be some nerves. But here we go, getting set to tip things off, Wayne Hills and West Milford in the opening night matchup. A lot of noise here in the early going. Didn't expect it to be this intense. West Milford wins the tip. It goes to Tyler Moore, the point guard. West Milford returning 2 of their top 6 scorers. This is Wright getting inside, and Wright uses the glass. No good. Rebounded by senior center Peter Davies. And let's take a look at this Wayne Hills new style offense. Mike Drees gonna run the point. That's Matt Heskins over to Darius Haber, the lone junior in the starting lineup. Wayne Hills starting 4 seniors tonight. This is Haber off the screen. Gives it to Pressler, wide open for 3. Sam Pressler off the back iron, no good. Rebounded by number 20, Connor Healy, the leading scorer from last year's West Milford team. West Milford setting up their motion offense now as Wayne Hills starts off in a man-to-man. The jumper is no good, rebounded by Davies, his second board of the night. Peter, the tallest player on this Wayne Hills team, coming in at 6'3". As Mike Drees will continue to run the point, gets inside, makes a nice move, puts it up, no good. Davies trying to corral the rebound, and it's taken away by Connor Healy.
John, that might be one of the few times in this game where you see when Peter Davies doesn't get the ball on a rebound.
Well, he had a tough time coming down with it and couldn't quite bring it in. And they're going to call a travel on Tyler Moore coming around the elbow, and Wayne Hills will take over.
Yeah, this new offense is a little different, John, especially for me. I'm used to seeing, you know, a regular offense from Wayne Hills, and it seems like they're really passing the ball around quite a bit and keeping the ball up top, not going down low too much.
Well, Coach Catalano's style was score early and score often. He kind of let the talent run its course and let his scorers do what they do best. It wasn't really the most disciplined offense that you'll see, but it worked for the teams when they had Joe Russo and Steve Lacarico, who were just pure scorers. As Davies gets inside and lays it in, Peter Davies looking like he didn't miss a step with the football team, and he gets in there for the hook shot, and Hills goes up 2-0.
From one season to another, John, and you could definitely hear the fans tonight. Everybody came out for this game.
Well, Healy misses the three-point attempt, as that is what he does best. He is a shooter, and Wayne Hills comes away with the board. Dries gets inside, kicks it out to Heskins, who gives it to Haber, who gets inside, and Haber with a nice move, and he lays it in. Darius Haber with his first field goal, and Hills goes on top 4-0.
Great way to start for sure.
Well, Wayne Hills' defense has done a great job so far, and West Milford hasn't hit any shots. We're over 2 minutes in, and only 4 points have been scored. Healy swings it to Wright. Wright pulls up from 3, no good. Rebounded by Davies. Great positioning by Peter. He's got 3 boards already. Mike Dries off the screen from Davies, getting inside, makes a move, and he lays it no good. Rebound to number 33, Garvin Jones. As now West Milford's going to take an early timeout with 5:19 to go in the opening quarter, and Wayne Hills up 4-0.
It's quite interesting here. It seems like the Wayne Hills defense, like we had mentioned, they were really going to have to come out to play, and sure enough, it seems like they have. I mean, I haven't seen much from down low. It seems everything's been outside for 3 points or 2 points near the line.
Well, Wayne Hills looks crisp to start this game off. Coach Catalano, I mean, those games under his tenure were hit or miss. They were either on or they were off because they were free to chuck up as many shots as they wanted. With this disciplined offense, the guards, Haber and Dries, have been quick enough to get penetration inside and either kick it out or score. I like the way this offense looks so far, and the defense has looked even better.
Without a doubt, John. I mean, I'm quite surprised with all these seniors out here. They're definitely doing a great job like they have been the past 3 years.
Well, I kind of like Coach Pollock's decision to leave Scott Wills on the bench to start things off. If he deserves to be a starter, he'll get time later in the game. But right now, let your seniors use that experience to their advantage in a game where there's going to be nervousness. So getting things started off the timeout. West Milford trying to get it inside. Stolen by Haber. He has a fast break. Darius Haber coming back the other way, and he's stuffed, but he gets his own rebound. Gets it inside to Davies on a nice pass, and Peter can't get it to go. Rebounded by number 23, Tyler Coyle. So Moorer working the point for West Milford. Gets it over to Healy. Swings it to Jones now. Jones working on Dries, puts it up. No good, air ball. Rebounded by Davies. Peter using his strength to come away with another rebound.
Number 4, John. He's unstoppable tonight.
Well, Davies has had his way down low. He's been positioning himself in just prime spots, and he's come away with the board every West Milford possession.
It's really interesting with this new offense. You don't see the taller guy, Peter Davies, down low. He's really coming up a lot.
Well, everyone's going to move around with this offense. You'll see him around the arc, on the wings, up top, and down low. They like to move around, and Dries commits the foul there on Jordan Wright. So Wright will go to the line and try to get his team on the board. We're 4 minutes in, and they haven't scored yet.
Wayne Hills defense definitely showed up tonight. I mean, like I said, it's the first foul. Peter Davies with 4 rebounds, and I've seen, maybe 2 shots from down low. Everything else, it's just like they haven't gotten, inside.
Well, we don't know what Coach Pollock's temper is going to be like because he hasn't had to use it yet with everything working so well on offense for Wayne Hills. So Wright hits the first free throw to get his team on the board. As the Goonies get the Boo That Man chant back. We missed that one. As Wright hits the second free throw, and he'll immediately be replaced by number 14, John Quazza, another forward for West Milford. So West Milford going with a full court press here, down by 2, midway through the first quarter. Dries able to break it easily, get some penetration, lays it up for Davies with the reverse layup, no good. Rebounded by West Milford. Healy looking up ahead to run the floor. The kick out, a 3-point attempt is good. That was Tyler Moorer from downtown, and West Milford takes a 5-4 lead.
Unfortunately there, John, it seems like the Wayne Hills defense, who's been playing, tight, it seems like they got a little spread out there, and it gave them that opportunity to get a pass to the outside.
Well, they didn't get that much separation on the scoreboard, and after West Milford hits a couple shots, they immediately take the lead, and now Mike Dries travels as his body went before his dribble did, and he turns it over to West Milford.
Well, John, an interesting matchup before this as we keep going here. We'll get back to that in a moment.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how the fitness of Wayne Hills fares, as Matt Heskins already seems to be huffing and puffing a little bit. Something Wayne Hills needed to have at a premium last year. They only rotated 6 or 7 guys, and that was, of course, because Peter Davies and Mike Dries quit the team midway through the season. With the new coach, they decided to come back and play, and they're both starting tonight, as Davies will be guarding Jones, who misses the attempt. The rebound, no good. Getting inside is Coyle for the three-point attempt. He finishes down low, and he'll go to the line to try to complete the three-point play.
And it seems like West Milford has finally found a small hole in the Wayne Hills defense.
Well, they've got some interior passes to work, and Coyle made a nice reverse layup down low, and he goes to the line trying to extend the lead. He's no good, rebounded by Davies. So just a three-point lead for West Milford. It's 7-4 as they get ready to chuck in another substitute. Heskins swings it to Davies as they continue with the Princeton offense. Haber pulls up from 18, and it's good. Darius Haber with his second field goal of the night, and he pulls Wayne Hills to within one. Coming back the other way, though, an answer there by number 20, Connor Healy, his first points of the night, and it's 9-6 Highlanders.
And once again, it seems like the Wayne Hills defense got a little spread out. They had some guys up by the half line and just too spread out there.
Dries finishes inside as he hits the floater, and it's 9-8 West Milford as the scoring's picked up a little bit here in the latter portions of this first quarter. That was Healy getting inside, rebounded by Heskins. Heskins decided against pushing it as he's going to stay disciplined just as Coach Pollock wants, and Dries will set up the offense.
And John, there you saw Peter Davies. Well, he didn't even get the ball. He still blocked three guys out.
Well, this is Garvin coming back the other way, and he blows the layup. He was contested by Matt Heskins and Peter Davies with the hustle play to get the board. This is Dries wide open in the corner for three, and he hits it. Mike Dries gives Wayne Hills the lead right back. It's 11-9.
And a close game it is, John. A close game it is.
Nice interior passing by West Milford, and they answer right back as Garvin Jones finishes, and it's tied at 11.
Only a minute 30 to go here. It's be interesting to see whether Wayne Hills holds the ball or goes down again.
Well, the scoring has really picked up, as so has the pace, as Pressler blows the layup down low. He's yet to score, as that pass is knocked away and taken away by Mike Dries. Dries looking to run the floor. This is not the tempo that Coach Pollock wants, and Dries senses it and slows things up. 1:12 to go in the opening quarter. Tie ball game. Davies from the top of the key gives it off to Dries, who pulls up from downtown again. No good. Rebounded by West Milford. Pass up ahead again. Down low. And Coyle finishes for the second time. Davies was late getting back, and he was burnt.
I mean, you're going to see that a lot tonight. I mean, with the offense running around so much, you're definitely going to see them getting back late if they're down low and they're just running in circles the whole time. It's going to take a while to get back, and on plays like that, they just might have holes in the defense.
Well, Davies was hustling early on in the game, and I don't know if he's winded or he just lost Coyle, but Tyler Coyle was wide open, and he made the play. 28 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Looks like Coach Pollock wants to just sit and wait. 20 seconds to go. Dries gets inside. He loses it, gets it back, kicks it out to Pressler, who'll pull up from three. Pressler no good. The long rebound comes out for Wayne Hills. They battle for it, and Haber eventually pulls it in. Haber getting inside, dishes to Davies, who lays it up and in, and one. Peter Davies ties it up, and he's got a chance to go to the line and take the lead right back for Wayne Hills.
Peter's size definitely came into effect there, John.
Well, a nice pass down low to set up Davies, and he has a chance to give Wayne Hills the 14-13 advantage with 5.2 to go in the quarter. Jordan Wright will check back in, as will number 15, Lucas Lamb, for the first time. Wayne Hills has stayed with their starting five for this entire first quarter, as John Giardello about to check in. Peter Davies' free throw is no good. So 1 second to go, and the horn will sound. Not a heads-up play by Josh Basket, who had just checked in. Didn't know how much time was left, and it cost him a chance at some points. But Tom, a very entertaining first quarter of action, tied at 13. What are your impressions so far?
I mean, like I said before, I'm very impressed with the Wayne Hills defense staying close in together, but they do need to get back. I mean, it seems like they're getting caught up around in the paint, quite a few of them. I mean, when they're going up for these layups and they're trying to get the rebound on offense, it seems like they're all getting caught in one spot and they're getting laid back, while West Milford's got a guy running down court there for the easy layup.
Well, I've been impressed by both teams. West Milford was struggling shooting early on, but they've picked it up. It's a competitive game just like we thought it would be. But two guys to me that have looked really good are Mike Dries and Darius Haber, as well as Peter Davies. Dries and Davies were playing football, winning a state championship 2 weeks ago, and they look like they're in midseason form on the basketball court. You got to be impressed by them. And Darius Haber, a guy who barely played last year, has come in and played very well for them so far. He's got 4 points. So, I mean, all signs are good so far for both teams, and it's going to be a very competitive game. The crowds are into it. I've been very pleased with how this game has turned out so far.
I just must say I'm glad the Goonies are back, John.
Oh, no question about it. They showed up early on in the season. The attendance wasn't fully there. And later on in the season, they just kind of abandoned the team once they realized it was going to be a mediocre season. The team started at 2-4. They finished the season at 500. Everyone knew they weren't going to win any state championships, so the fan base abandoned this team. But they're back tonight as they are here in full force. We haven't seen a crowd like this in 2 years. So starting off the second quarter, Mike Dries continues to run the point as John Giardello replaces Peter Davies. The first substitution off the bench is Giardello. As Dries gets inside, gives it to Haber. And Haber is rejected as that ball goes out of bounds back over to Wayne Hills.
And John, we spoke earlier about them losing 4 seniors last year, and so far you've seen 4 seniors in both of these lineups. Now you see John Giardello coming out, and you still got 4 seniors on the court.
Well, Haber chucks it up, and luckily Pressler came down with it. Pressler, the leading scorer, returning, and he hasn't scored yet so far tonight. Giardello in there now gives it to Pressler. Giardello getting some playing time after playing a small role on the team last season, as did Haber. Giardello giving it back to Dries as they slow things up. 40 seconds already on this possession for Wayne Hills, and not one shot attempt.
Yeah, you could definitely see the absence of Peter Davies. No balls being passed down into the paint, John.
Yeah, definitely a factor as this quarter goes on. They're going to need Peter to play as Wayne Hills draws a foul. Corey Vanderploeg, the only other Wayne Hills player over 6'1" on this team. So they're going small right now, and they haven't been able to get anything going down low. With this lineup in, they're going to have to pass it around and try to get an open 3. That's what this lineup does best. As Haber gets tied up, and Dries eventually comes away with it. As Lamb was tied up with Haber, and eventually Wayne Hills was able to recover possession. So over a minute into this quarter, West Milford hasn't touched the ball yet. Pressler going baseline, pulls up from 16, no good off back iron. The long rebound's tipped down low, and they're going to call a foul on John Giardello as Peter Davies checks right back in. Oh, they hold him.
I mean, not surprising there. They put John Giardello, the senior, in, try to get him some playing time as a senior. Certainly he's a great player, but when you go in like that, you certainly cannot make a foul.
So Davies goes right back in for him at the 5. So back to that starting 5. Wayne Hills sticking with their starters as Haber gets a hand on that one, but West Milford recovers. West Milford with the host of substitutes in. This is Lamb feeding it to Quaza.
Interesting matchup there, 42 on 42, Pressler against Wright. I mean, both bigger guys. I mean, Wright's certainly bigger. He's more of, Peter Davies' size, but an interesting matchup.
Well, Sam Pressler forced to play a forward with the small lineup in there. Wright has a couple inches on him, but it'll be interesting to see how those two work off each other. As there you see Wright with the ball. It's just Healy back into the game. Healy pulls up from long range, and he hits it. That is Connor Healy from 24, and he gives West Milford a 3-point lead.
Interesting, they still have this full court press going, John. They're certainly giving Wayne Hills a hard time getting the ball up court.
Well, Dries going to set things up already 2 minutes into the quarter. Davies looks for Heskins down low, and he blew the pass. Matt Heskins was wide open underneath the basket, and Davies overshot him.
I mean, I'm starting to seem like there's almost an absence of Jordan Wright here. I mean, he's probably one of their best players on their team, and it seems like he hasn't done much in this game.
Well, Wright did sit out for a few minutes in the first quarter, but he's back in and hasn't really touched the ball since. There he is in the corner working on Pressler. Going to kick it out to Healy. Healy gets a screen from Coyle, pulls up again from downtown, and he hits. Connor Healy is hot. He has 8 points already, and West Milford goes up by 6.
Still got that full court press, John. Sam Pressler's really going to need to do something to get the ball up quickly here.
Well, Pressler draws the foul on Wright, but Connor Healy with 8 points to lead all scorers, and West Milford with their largest lead of the game at 6 points. It's 19-13 with 5:16 to go in the half as Coach Pollock finally getting excited.
Certainly, John. Interesting to see how he's going to fare with these players.
Well, from what I've heard, they seem to like him, judging by their first impressions the first couple weeks of practice. He's brought a new aspect of the game that Coach Catalano didn't, as Heskins finishes down low, his first basket of the night. They certainly need to get him and Pressler going, as that's the first basket between the two of them. Pulling up from downtown is number 10, Tyler Moorer. And West Milford is lighting it up from beyond the arc. They're up 22-15.
Yeah, and unfortunately there, John, the same as in first quarter, it seems like the Wayne Hills defense is really crumbling in, sort of falling inside. West Milford gets that shot from beyond the arc over and over at 3 threes in this quarter.
Well, with Healy with 8 and Moore with 6 to lead West Milford, they now lead 22-15, a 7-point advantage. But like I said, Heskins and Pressler have got to get going. Just 2 points between the two of them as we are 12 minutes into the game. I mean, Wayne Hills, the defense was holding strong early on, but now that Healy is heated up, they're starting to separate themselves a little bit.
Yeah, without a doubt, John, but, you know, the defense is just crumbling. It seems like in the first half they were spread out, and now it just seems as if they're losing their energy, leaving those 3 seniors out, only pulling Peter Davies out. Now he's back in. It seems like they're starting to lose the energy here in their first matchup. They haven't quite built up the stamina yet.
That's a good point, Tom. I mean, Peter, like we said, he's only played basketball for a couple of weeks, and maybe that's hurting him, but I mean, the biggest thing right now is just Healy's shooting over the defenders. If he continues to do that, Wayne Hills is going to be in trouble, but you can't count on a guy to be nailing threes with a guy in his face all night. So Wayne Hills breaks the huddle down by 7. 4:47 to go in the second quarter. As they're going to keep that same 5 in there. Heskins, Pressler, Drees, Davies, and Haber. And fatigue's got to have to be a factor if they continue to play the entire game. Pressler inbounding it to Drees, who pulls up from 15. Bank is no good, rebounded by Basket. And West Milford coming back the other way. Josh Basket gets past Drees, comes inside, and is stuffed by Heskins. Drees coming back the other way, doesn't have numbers, and smartly slows it up to Heskins. Heskins in the corner, gets inside, brings it back out for Mike Drees.
And you're certainly starting to see that fatigue, especially with Sam Pressler and Matt Heskins. You know, they're running around the arc constantly, and you can just see them standing in the corner, slowing it down here to get a breath in.
Well, it's stolen by Basket, and stolen right back by Drees. Drees is going to take it himself all the way to the hoop, and one for Mike Drees. He finishes at the hoop, and he'll go up for a chance at a 3-point play.
And there you can see Wayne Hills getting back late actually provided them with an advantage on that set of plays.
Well, just an athletic play from Mike Drees, who might be the most explosive player on the Wayne Hills offense. Getting the steal off Basket's errant pass, and he whizzes past the West Milford defense to finish, cutting it down to a 5-point deficit. As the West Milford student section getting on him, and Drees with an ugly attempt there, and it goes out of bounds back over to West Milford. Last touch was made by Peter Davies.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here. It seems like West Milford hasn't made any subs yet. We'll see if the fatigue factor affects them as they're constantly running up and down the court.
Well, Wayne Hills 0 for 2 from the stripe so far. West Milford 2 for 2, so we'll keep an eye on that as the game goes on. As Drees gets a hand on it, they're able to get it to Healy. Healy swings it over to Lamb. Lamb to Coyle. West Milford going with their set offense now. As they get it to Garvin Jones back in for the first time since the opening few minutes. The pass tipped by Heskins, but Coyle able to get it back. As Moore's going to swing it to Jones. Jones inside to Healy. Healy goes down. They're going to call a foul on Haber. Doesn't like the call. That's Hills' 4th foul of the half, so it'll be an inbound play for West Milford.
And you can see both coaches got a little fiery there, John. Especially Pollock over here yelling pretty loud.
Well, the game started to heat up now as we reach the second half of the second quarter. West Milford swinging it for Healy.
And finally, with about 3 minutes and 15 seconds left, it seems like the offense is slowing down a little bit.
A nice floater inside by Garvin Jones, his second basket of the night. And it's 24-17 West Milford as they continue to apply the full court press. Heskins beats it, and they're going to call.
John, it always seems as if as soon as you say things are slowing down, they just heat right back up.
Well, it's been a very competitive half as they're going to call a foul on 40.
Now the assistant coach, Coach John Goldstein's even gotten up off the bench, and he's screaming a little bit along with the Coach Pollock.
I was going to say the only 40 on the court is Peter Davies, and he was nowhere near the play, so that's why both coaches got up, but they made a mistake. It's on for Wayne Hills as Heskins gets the inbound, trapped in the corner. He's able to get out of it. Heskins going to kick it out to Haber for downtown. Air ball rebounded by Healy, who's going to flip it up ahead for Coyle, who wasn't looking, but he gets it back. No one guarding him as Davies comes over now. Kick it out. Healy from 26. No good. Rebounded by Coyle. Coyle getting it inside and finishing down low is Lucas Lamb as West Milford now leads by 9.
Yeah, once again there, you see him feeding him outside. The Wayne Hills defense is still happening to crumble. They really got to spread that out. I think that the fatigue is definitely becoming a factor, and they don't want to move, so they're all getting close. That way it only matters when they try to drive to the hoop.
Dries drives the lane, kicks it out for Heskins, wide open for 3. Way short. Pressler read it correctly as Heskin gets it back. Looking for Haber down low, and it's tipped by Healy. Haber battling down low, puts it up. Crazy acrobatic shot, gets his own rebound, kicks it out to Heskins. Back over to Dries, will pull up from 3. No good, rebounded by West Milford. So Wayne Hills with a couple chances, not able to finish. And Healy is gonna get called for the carry. As finally a break in the action. As a couple of subs checking in for West Milford.
See Healy come out, that's gonna probably be a little bit of a bigger loss here, you know, with the 2 threes he's knocked down so far in this quarter.
Well, it's always a help to have the opponent's leading scorer and best shooter out of the game. Heskins pulls up from 18. He hits it. Matt Heskins' second basket of the quarter, and he pulls Wayne Hills to within 7. Coyle no good. The rebound from Garvin is no good. Garvin Jones. And Dries will recover with 1:22 to go in the first half.
And interesting to see, you see Mike Dries and some of the other seniors, Matt Heskins and Sam Pressler, going down for the rebound. Peter Davies looks a little fatigued after his long football season winning the state championship. He just doesn't really seem to have his full mind into this game.
So Dries gets fouled as he goes up. He'll go to the free throw line. Dries, the leading scorer for Wayne Hills tonight with 7 points, a chance to add to it here.
And once again, that West Milford student section really talking it up.
And Dries way short, 0 for 2 from the stripe. Neither of his attempts were very close. So again, you wonder if fatigue is a factor for Davies and Dries as Dries hits his second free throw. So it's 26-20 now, West Milford in control with 1:05 to go.
The tempo certainly hasn't slowed down.
Dries with the steal, gets it to Haber, who dishes to Pressler, loses it, out of bounds. Last touch by West Milford.
You can see there, Darius Haber can't even hear Coach Pollock with all the noise in this gym, John.
They flip it over to Davies. Pressler's wide open in the corner. Help comes in the form of Garvin Jones. So Davies at the top of the key with 40 seconds to go. And it's a bad pass again from Davies as they get it up ahead. And it's a loose ball taken by Garvin Jones, who lays it in. Garvin Jones picking up the loose ball, and they go up by 8 with 30 seconds to go.
An easy basket there, John. Fatigue is definitely starting to affect Peter Davies and especially Sam Pressler. They got back late there, and it just allowed Jones to put it up with no contention.
Mike Dries wide open for 3, rims out. Davies fights for the board, gives it. He takes it himself and lays it in. He had Pressler open, but Davies lays it in himself.
And it looks with 7 seconds left as if we're going to finish out the half. Wayne Hills down 6 points.
The three-point attempt at the buzzer is good. That's a huge shot for West Milford, and they'll go into the locker room leading by 9. So Tom, Wayne Hills' first game of the season, only scoring 22 points, going into the locker room trailing 31-22. What have you seen from them so far?
I mean, Wayne Hills, like I've said time and time again, it seems like their defense continues to crumble, and on offense, they're just getting fatigued. I don't really like this new offense. There's too much movement. The ball's being passed around too much, and no one's driving in the hoop. We've seen a couple of drives from Dries and maybe 1 or 2 from Haber, but I mean, every other shot's been from the outside, and we just haven't had any luck tonight.
Well, the shots are going to have to go for Wayne Hills. Right now, the Princeton offense isn't getting enough open looks for them. They've had chances to score, and they've missed some of them. The defense is going to have to pick it up, but they're going to have to hit their shots. That's the bottom line. 22 points and a half is just not going to cut it against a pretty good West Milford team. So that'll do it for the first half of action. We'll be back with more after this.
High formation for the Patriots right now, and the fans are on their feet. Monahan, look at that. He's back in the pocket, and he's going for Greg Olson, and he got it! He got it! Touchdown, Patriots! Touchdown, Patriots! And now we're back for the second half of action here inside Gifford Gymnasium. John, that was a great first half, but before this game we had the Wayne Hills Patriots boys junior varsity game. How was their performance?
They played a great game, Tom. We were here to see the end of that one. We showed up midway through the fourth quarter, so we can't make a really accurate analysis of the game, but they played clutch down the stretch. I mean, me and you both saw it. Preston Quinn hitting a key layup, of course, younger brother of former Wayne Hills quarterback and forward on the basketball team, Mike Quinn. So they had some talent. I was surprised to see how well they played against a good program in West Milford. They came away with the 3-point win. I was very impressed because last year, looking at this team, we knew Brandel was going to leave. We knew, obviously, Quinn, DeBlock, and Fonte were all going to go, and Fonte's a huge loss. And the future of the program looked very bleak, with a low amount of kids even trying out for the team, let alone playing. And seeing how the JV team performed today and the amount of depth they had a good 7 or 8 guys on the bench. The future looks pretty bright for this program, but of course the big hole, they don't have anyone over 6'3", so that could hurt them. But then again, a lot of teams don't have many players over 6'3".
And 2 of the bigger players in the JV game were definitely Corey Vanderplug and, as you said, Preston Quinn, Mike Quinn's younger brother, are showing some promising skills. You know, next year we're going to lose 5 seniors, John Giardello, Sam Pressler, Matt Heskins, and Peter Davies, along with Mike Dries, and that's definitely going to be a factor, but I definitely see Corey Vanderplug stepping up and filling in that big hole up with Peter Davies.
There's no question. 5 or 6 of these key players for Wayne Hills are going to graduate. So next year, a lot of guys are going to have to step up, along with the guys you mentioned, Gazee Massini and Scott Wills are all going to get significant playing time, as well as Preston Quinn, like we mentioned. So it'll be interesting. But getting back to this year's team, the second half is underway. West Milford leading by 9, 31-22. This is Connor Healy pulling up for 3, way off, rebounded by Heskins, who gives it off to Dries, who will run the point once again. Wayne Hills with the same 5 players in the game. They've only worked 6 guys in. Haber pulls up wide open for 3, and it's good. Darius Haber from downtown, and he pulls Wayne Hills to within 7.
And
or
there's
6, excuse me.
6, yeah. And there's a case where you see Coach Pollock's offense really working well, slowing it down, giving the pass, waiting for Haber to be fully open, wide open. He puts it up, and it's perfectly in.
7 points for Darius Haber, as it's now 31-25 West Milford. As they get it back out for Healy. Healy getting inside, puts up a floater, no good. Offensive rebound to Coyle, and they're going to call a jump ball. I thought Coyle had full possession, but they said Davies had a hand on it, and it'll go back over to Wayne Hills.
A little hard to see from where we were sitting, but, definitely Peter Davies is always a factor on defense.
Dries running the offense a minute into the third quarter. Wayne Hills was outscored 18-9 in that second quarter, trying to make up for it, already up 3-0 in the third. But quarter scores don't matter anymore. Scrimmage season's over. The total one is all that matters. Darius Haber pulls up from downtown and hits it again. So Darius with 6 points already in a minute and a half. And Wayne Hills, just like that, cuts it to a 3-point game.
Yeah, and once again, slowing it down seemed to be the key for the offense there, John.
Coyle inside lays it in. Tyler Coyle with 6 points. And West Milford goes back up by 5.
Now Wayne Hills is definitely, with this full court press, going to need to slow it down. Darius is taking up a little too quickly here. And
Haber blows the layup, rebounded by Coyle. West Milford coming back the other way. Fast break pace, and Pressler commits the foul, not letting Moorer get in there uncontested. So Tyler Moorer will go to the line to shoot 2. Both teams not shooting a lot of free throws tonight. Wayne Hills has attempted just 4, and this just the 3rd attempt for the Highlanders tonight. Moorer's first attempt is good.
John, where are the Goonies now? West Milford's fan sections or student sections definitely up there, but we're not hearing anything from the Goonies.
Well, the Goonies have been pretty quiet tonight. They get up at random moments to kind of mess with the other team. They're not a true fan section that's going to stand up and chant and clap and do what most student sections do. They're more to just kind of pick on the other team. As Pressler finally gets in the scorebook, he hits a 3-pointer, and Wayne Hills cuts the lead to 4. A huge 3 from Sam Pressler as Haber commits the foul. But Sam Pressler, the leading scorer returning from Wayne Hills, finally gets on the board, as now checking into the game for the first time tonight is freshman guard Scott Wills.
Well, see, it'll be interesting to see if we see any butterflies in his stomach. Certainly looks good so far out there.
Well, wearing number 3, you see him right there in your picture. A freshman playing for Wayne Hills. We haven't seen that in my Wayne Hills career at the very least. It's been a while as Basket misses the 3-pointer. So Scott Wills with a historic moment for the program. Very rare to see a freshman in there. Greg Olson might have been the last one. I'm pretty sure he played as a freshman. I can't remember anyone else.
I mean, not only in basketball is that huge. I mean, all sports. I only know 3 kids in our grade that started varsity. I mean, like you said before, Wills is going to be 1. Corey Mania played lacrosse and soccer as a freshman on the varsity level. Alex Bellegarde as a freshman. And Kevin Olson got a little varsity time at quarterback.
So a foul call there as Tom references some freshman players. Not only is Wills playing as a freshman, he's doing it in meaningful minutes in the opening game. Freshmen that have played in the past probably played later in the season when the season was over, and they just wanted to bring some guys up for the experience. Now that I think about it, I realize Joe Russo, Lacarica, and Fonte, they did all play as freshmen, but very late in the season when the playoffs were out of reach. So Therese, no good. His shot rattles out as Moorer gets inside, puts it up off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Davies, who will give it off to Heskins. Trailing by 4. Wills gonna pull up for 3 and hits it. Scott Wills is shooting 100% for his Wayne Hills career. He cuts it to a 1-point game, and West Milford calls timeout. What an adrenaline rush for the freshman. You gotta be happy for him.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, John. You heard the student section finally getting up there, getting loud again, shutting up the West Milford fan section. And without a doubt, Wills is definitely going to be up to fill up that hole next year with us losing 5 seniors.
Well, what a lift for the Wayne Hills team. Down by 9 at the half. They've cut it to 1, and they've done it by no other than the freshman, Scott Wills. That's gotta feel good for him. You know he works hard in the gym, shooting all the time, dreaming about his moment to finally play varsity basketball, and in his very first attempt at a clutch moment, he drills it and cuts the West Milford lead to 1.
Always a great moment in sports when the little guy gets up there to make a big play.
And not only is a little guy in age at 14 years old, he's a little guy in size too. He's well under 6 foot. So that's got to be a nice thing for him. It's a 1-point game. Wayne Hills has battled right back into it. Coach Pollock happy. And we got a competitive second half for you here from Wayne Hills. This is Basket handing it off for Healy, who pulls up from 18, and he hits it. Connor Healy showing why he's the leading scorer. He's got 10 points right now. So Heskins across half court, trying to get it to Pressler, and it's taken away by West Milford. Basket gets it poked away by Dreesen. Pressler pushes him out of bounds as the West Milford coach is furious at his own player. Josh Basket, he's not happy with.
Usually hear a little blue in the face, but I must say he was quite red in the face in that instance. He wasn't sick, he was just quite flat out angry.
Drees battles Basket for the ball, and Josh Basket comes away with it with 3:52 to go in the third quarter. Healy working on Pressler on the wing, goes baseline. Not as good of a driver as he is a shooter. Healy gonna work off the give and go, pick and roll, and they give an offensive foul to John Quazza. As West Milford turns it over, Wayne Hills will take over with a chance to tie it up at 37.
And still with his full court press, it looks like Wayne Hills is definitely going to need to take a minute here, get it in quick, but then definitely slow it down, take it in slow.
Well, West Milford going with the full court man-to-man as Pressler breaks it easily, finds his buddy Matt Heskins, who pulls up from the free throw stripe. He's short, rebounded by Healy. Healy working on Scott Wills, pulls up from downtown. He's short. Finally misses Basket, kicks it out to Moorer, who hits it. Tyler Moorer with his third three-pointer of the night. And West Milford goes up by 6.
And as you said, although Wills is a little shorter than most of the players, he definitely is showing his speed and quick burst, getting back on defense here.
So Coach Pollock calling a timeout after they cut it to 1. Healy hits a jumper. Moorer hits a 3, and just like that, West Milford back up by 6 with 3:04 to go in the third.
I mean, Wayne Hill's definitely spreading out the points here. Scott Wills is going to need to come back in, shoot up some more baskets. Hopefully he's going to stay and keep the freshmen in, give the seniors a little bit of a breather. Their stamina's surely running low.
Well, one thing I want to draw attention to, balanced scoring from both teams so far. Both West Milford and Wayne Hills, no one scoring more than 10 points. Connor Healy with 10 for West Milford, the leader to this point. Actually, Moorer has 11 now after that 3. So a very balanced game. Both of these teams have a lot of kids that can score. A very balanced matchup. Both schools with similar enrollments. Both Group 3 schools. So nice to see a quality, even matchup. Both teams have played well in the opening night game. Just a great game all around. So Pressler inbounds it to Drees. Again, West Milford staying with the man-to-man defense. As he gives the backdoor pass to Pressler, who gets in. No call. Wills with the rebound. Kicks it out to Heskins, wide open. No good. Rebounded by Garvin Jones. And they call a foul on Peter Davies.
And Pollock is still yet to be seen running out on the court like the opposing coach. He's still quiet, I'd say. Certainly isn't loud.
Well, the action is certainly picked up here in the third quarter as Pressler missed the layup as he drew a lot of contact and no call was made. That one could have gone either way. As they're going to post up Coyle. Coyle's interior pass goes out of bounds off of Scott Wills. A smart play by Tyler Moorer to save that one and bounce it off the shin of Scott Wills.
And unfortunately, his speed of getting into the play there kind of actually hurt Wills. One of those few instances where speed can hurt you.
Well, getting inside is Coyle, kicks it out to Moorer. Back over to Jones, who kicks it out. That's right from downtown. And Jordan Wright hits a 3, and they're back up by 9.
Seems like that's Wright's first biggest shot of the night. The fan section's definitely up and loud for him. I mean, he's been quiet, kind of been shut off a little bit by Sam Pressler. As we said before, a great matchup.
Wright's first field goal of the night. And Wayne Hills draws the foul as Mike Drees will go to the line to shoot 2.
Interesting to see Wills is still in there. Haber hasn't been back in yet, and again, those same 4 seniors that started the game.
Drees is short on the first free throw attempt. He is 1 for 4 now on the night from the line. Make it 2 for 5 as he hits the second one. and cuts the lead to 43-35 West Milford. Moore working on Scott Wills. Gives it to Jones, who pulls up no good. Rebounded by Pressler. Sam Pressler dishes it to Mike Drees. 1:50 to go in the third. Drees off the Davies screen, gets inside, kicks it out to Heskins. Pump fake, Heskins getting inside, puts it up, and it's good. Matt Heskins with his third field goal, and he cuts the lead to 6.
Slowing it down on offense certainly seems to provide Wayne Hills with the advantage, although Jordan Wright there pulls up for 3, his second field goal of the second half.
Well, Wright with 3s on consecutive possessions, and West Milford goes back up by 9. Drees gets double teamed, nice around the back move, and it's taken away. Coming back the other way is John Quazza, and they're gonna call him for the travel. He paused to let Pressler fly by, and Quazza shuffled his feet and gets called for the travel.
See, Coach Pollock's definitely happy about the call on the travel, but he surely has to be upset because Mike Drees failed to slow it down there, and that's why Wayne Hills lost the ball. He's not passing it, he's always driving right to the hoop.
Well, Coach Pollock will call a timeout with 1:13 to go in the third, and Wayne Hills trailing by 9 once again. That was the deficit they faced at halftime, and they're going to have to cut that one down. 9 points in one quarter is a tough road to hoe if you're Wayne Hills going into the fourth.
It'll be also interesting to see, as we stated before, Corey Vanderploeg get in here, one of the tallest kids besides Peter Davies. Bring back in some height. Scott Wills brought down the height a little bit, maybe prevent some of these three-point shots.
Well, there's a lot of guys that Coach Pollock has failed to use in this game. Kazim Mussini, another very capable guard, hasn't seen the floor. Matt Collum, Chris Goddard, Preston Quinn, Matt Greenfield, all guys on this bench that haven't seen the court yet. Coach Pollock has used just 7 guys. He's used John Giardello sparingly. So really it's been just a 6-man rotation. It'll be interesting to see whether Darius Haber comes back in. He's been on the bench for the majority of this third quarter, as they're going to send Scott Wills back out there.
Speed's definitely going to play a big factor here as this second half keeps moving on. The game is staying close. Coaching and speed are definitely going to be the 2 biggest factors, along with stamina.
Heskins going to run the point on this possession. He gets double teamed, gets it to Drees up top, who gives it down low to Davies, who lays it up and in. Peter Davies with his first basket of the second half, and it cuts the lead to 6. They get it down low for Quazza, and he's hacked by Davies and Heskins. They're going to give it to Heskins. Actually, they're going to give it to Drees, and that's Mike Drees' 4th foul. As Coach Goldstein notifies Coach Pollock that Drees has 4 fouls, we missed that. So Quazza hits the first free throw.
Now an 8-point lead for West Milford, with 51 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
Quazza nails a pair, back up by 9 with 51 seconds to go. Heskins double teams, gives it to Wills in the corner. Wills back to Heskins, swings it to Drees, who is open. 38 to go in the third. Davies at the top of the key, back to Heskins. Heskins pulls up as the defender backed off, and he misses it. Davies tips it out of bounds, and it'll go back over to West Milford. As checking back into the game is Luke Baskett, replacing Connor Healy, who'll get a quick breather with 27 seconds to go in the third.
Looked like Coach Pollock was about to put Darius Haber back in there. He needs some good guys to get up there and score. I mean, Scott Wills really hasn't had a chance to put another shot up. I mean, his height certainly is a disadvantage in this game. West Milford is a huge team, all taller guys.
Well, that's a disadvantage that Wayne Hills is going to have to deal with all season long. Because Peter Davies is 6'3". After that, no one's taller than 6'2". And West Milford with a couple of guys at 6'3". There's .6, and Wills is going to try to chuck it up, no good. Wouldn't have counted anyway. So at the end of 3 quarters, Wayne Hills still finds himself down by 9, 48-39. Tom, what's it going to take in the fourth quarter for Wayne Hills to come back?
I don't know, John. I think the defense is going to need to hang in there. They were really deteriorating in the first half, but it definitely seems like they're holding together here in the second half. Unfortunately, they can't control the three-pointers from outside, but on offense, it seems like they're still trying to rush it. Still like a lot of the players coming from the football team just trying to rush it in there, score points like they're good at. And it just seems as if without slowing it down, they're rushing into these opportunities and losing the ball. And these turnovers are creating fast breaks for West Milford, which they're just opportunities, and they're going with them.
Wayne Hills is going to have to play opportunistic basketball in the fourth quarter if they want to pull this one out. They can't have lapses on defense. They're going to have to hold West Milford to single digits in this quarter if they want to win. The Princeton offense is not designed for big comebacks. They're falling behind by 9. They're either going to have to play flawless defense or continue to play at this frantic pace and come back, because otherwise it's going to be a tough chance for them going into this fourth quarter. So the team's breaking the huddle for the fourth quarter. We'll see if Wayne Hills has what it takes to come back in this one, down by 9 with 8 minutes to go in the game in Coach Pollock's season debut.
And, John, that frantic pace you spoke of is going to be tough here. Peter Davies, Heskins, Pressler, and Dries still in there. Darius Haber now checking back in.
Well, Haber comes back in for Scott Will, so the starting 5 out there for the Patriots. Wright pulls up from downtown, and he hits it. Jordan Wright with his third 3 of the half. And West Milford goes up 51-39. And Davies with his third errant pass of the night. All 3 of those passes didn't even give his teammate a chance to catch the ball. It's a backcourt violation, and West Milford takes over.
Davies definitely seems to be getting tired. Seems like a little bit of error on Coach Pollock's part, not giving him a breather. I mean, I think he had a breather at the end of the first quarter, but beyond that, that's been about it.
Well, you're right, Tom. The only time he came out was at the end of the first. He's been in there ever since. Coyle posts up, gives it to Jones, who gets inside. Jones pulls up, and he can't get the roll. Davies with the board. Nice positioning by him.
Nice to see Dries slowing it down a little bit here.
Dries going to give it to Davies down low. Nice pass. Peter can't get it to go. And West Milford, 3 guys down there to rebound, but Jones couldn't handle it. And it goes out of bounds back over to Haber and Wayne Hills.
Be interesting to see if anybody puts up a shot from outside here at all, or if it's going to be keep being brought down to Davies to shoot it from below.
Well, Dries pumped the 3 and decided against it, as he's going to take it now and hit. Mike Dries with his second 3-pointer of the night, and he pulls Wayne Hills back to within 9.
As Pressler knocks the ball through Wright's legs there.
Dries, the leading scorer for Wayne Hills, with 12 points tonight, as they're going to have to use the 3-pointer to get back in this with 6:58 left, down by 9. Coyle gives it back to Jones. Tight defense from Wayne Hills. They give it back to Basket. Luke Basket getting to the line. Back over to Coyle working on Davies. Coyle with a nice move, and they're going to call a foul on Davies. Peter thought he had all ball. He might have an argument. But either way, Tyler Coyle's going to go to the line to shoot 2.
And an interesting play here by the West Milford coach, pulling out Connor Healy. He had 2 field goals in the first half. I mean, they have no big scorers out there right now. I mean, the only one out there is Tyler. I mean, with 11 points, he really hasn't shown too much yet in this fourth quarter.
Coyle is good on his first attempt, extending the lead to 52-42 as Wright checks out in favor of Healy. So Healy had a nice little rest there. As one scorer replaces the other, Coyle hits it again. He's got 8, and it's an 11-point lead for the Highlanders. Heskins gets it stolen by Basket. Basket to Healy, wide open for 3. That would have been the dagger, but he misses it, and it goes out of bounds back over to Wayne Hills.
Once again, Hills is definitely going to need to take it slow here. With this full court press, they do need to get it out quickly, but don't rush it so much that they're giving this ball back court, and that Heskins has got to make a play like that to get it up, and he has almost no options.
Wayne Hills cannot afford turnovers like Matt Heskins had right there. Down by 11 with 6:23 to go. That pass from Dries, just like I said, another turnover. 3 turnovers in the quarter West Milford gets it right back, as now a couple of substitutes. Josh Baskett, as well as Tyler Moore check back in, replacing Garvin Jones. Quazza looking for somebody to pass it to. Gonna give it to Healy. Healy off the screen, back over to Coyle with 6 minutes to go. Getting inside is Moore for the floater, no good. Rebounded by Davies. Davies over to Haber, who will take it up on this possession. 5:55 to go in the game.
And Hills continues to struggle with their passing game. A lot of floaters tonight, the backcourts by Peter Davies. And Dries really hasn't been able to account for that. He's not the biggest guy in the team. He doesn't have the long arms to reach out and grab these passes.
Well, Davies calls for the moving screen, and Coach Pollock frustrated.
Kind of interesting that only West Milford is doing the only full court press. Seems as if Hills is still laying back.
As they blew the horn. As there's some arguments going on between the Wayne Hills coaching staff and the referees, as Mr. Mezzi blew the horn thinking there was 7 fouls, and there was not. As they're going to call a foul. And I think that foul was directed right to the coaching staff, because Haber did not even touch that player who was Healy down the lane. But to get back to that, Mr. Mezzi blew the horn but forgot to stop the clock as 10 seconds ran off. The Wayne Hills coaching staff wanted the seconds tacked back on. The referee said no, and they continued to argue, and eventually the foul was called on Healy as he misses the free throw.
And it seems as if we finally have seen Coach Pollock's really fiery side. I mean, John Goldstein definitely had to get him fired up. He didn't really see it on his own, but once he did realize it, he really got fired up, John.
Yeah, I mean, that's a Bush League move by the referees. I know you want to keep the tempo of the game going, but if 10 seconds runs off the clock inadvertently, you got to replace it.
Especially with 8-minute quarters like this, John. Really slow game, really quick, fast-paced game.
Moorer wide open for 3, no good. The rebound is going to go to Wayne Hills as they call a foul on Coyle, who is backing down Pressler. The West Milford coach furious, and deservedly so. Pressler was over the back of Coyle. It should have been a no call, but if they're going to call a foul, it's got to go against Pressler. So Wayne Hills catches a break.
Some karma there, John. Seemed like Wayne Hills got back a little bit of their luck.
A great call, Tom. I mean, that's definitely a makeup call. Dries coming back the other way. Gets inside by himself, puts it up, no good. His hands got tied up. It looked like he was going to have an easy layup, but someone was able to tie him up. But he's going to go to the line to shoot 2, down by 11.
Fatigue is definitely affecting Sam Pressler. He's sitting out in that back corner. Every time Dries comes down, he has no open men, forced to drive to the basket, and Pressler doesn't even try to get open for the 3.
Fatigue's got to be a factor for everybody. They've kept the same 5 guys in virtually the entire night, and in times like this, it's when it's going to hurt them the most. As Dries hits the first free throw to cut it to 10. He drills the second.
I'm just more surprised than anything than the combination between Pressler and Heskins, they being the 2 players that are running around the most, getting the most possessions, even though they haven't really scored. You know, I'm surprised that Heskins isn't as fatigued as Pressler.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Sam keeps himself in great shape. You'd expect them to both be all right. But, I mean, when you play the entire game, you're going to get tired. As Dries kicks it out to Heskins, wide open for 3, and it's good! Matt Heskins drills the 3-pointer for Wayne Hills, and they cut the lead down to 6.
And Coach Pollock just took a timeout, John. Looks like they're going to discuss some offense. You know, like you said, down by 6 points here. They definitely need to make these last 4 minutes and 50 seconds count.
Well, Coach Pollock fired up after that Matt Heskins free throw, as this entire Wayne Hills student section is. That was a huge shot from Matt Heskins, drilling it from the corner, a perfect swish, and it gets Wayne Hills right back into the game. It's a 6-point deficit, 4:50 to go, plenty of time.
John, interesting to see in this last couple of minutes here of the 4th quarter. Darius Haber definitely showing up to play defense, but haven't really seen him much on the offensive side of the court. I mean, with the loss of Scott Wills, we really haven't seen any big possessions on the offensive side.
Well, Haber hit 2 threes in the 3rd quarter, but since then has been quiet. Davies as well has only scored 1 basket in this half. But most importantly, Sam Pressler only has 3 points tonight. He's supposed to be the leading scorer for this team. He hasn't had a bad game. He hasn't taken many shots.
That's true, John.
Thing.
Yeah, true.
So Moore going to take it up to Basket. Basket pulls up from 10, and he hits it. Peter Davies should have helped out there as he tried to protect the basket, but Basket hit it, and it's an 8-point game. Pressler open in the corner for 3. No good. Rattles out. Davies the offensive board. He loses it underneath. He dives on the floor for it, and Wayne Hills is going to have a timeout granted to him. And again, the West Milford coach furious, but Wayne Hills did have possession of that ball.
Peter Davies, once again, the biggest guy in the paint, certainly stretching out his arms and pulling that in. Also probably one of the bigger muscular guys in the court, like we said earlier. Big-time football player, but getting recruited by a lot of schools. Certainly a bigger kid, definitely one of the stronger guys on this team.
Well, Wayne Hills down by 8 after that basket floater. Basket meaning the player's name, not the hoop. So there's a pair of baskets on West Milford. They're brothers, Luke and Josh. But Coach Pollock dialing something up in the huddle, as you see there in your screen. Going to be interesting to see how they play down the stretch. Down by 8 with 4:24 to go. But another thing I want to draw attention to, 2 new coaches on the Wayne Hill staff in addition to Coach Pollock. Coach Goldie, John Goldstein, remains as the assistant. But there's 2 other men who I don't know who they are. We'll have to get their names for the next game, but maybe Coach Pollock bringing in a whole regime with them. As the players have bought into their system, they like the new coaches, and they're playing hard for them, that's for sure.
Coach Goldie also looks like he's stepping it up, trying to assert that his position. He's still been involved in this team for many years. He's the secretary for the athletic director, Chris Olson, certainly stepping it up in a leadership role just as he does for the football team.
And Coach Goldie's been here for years and years. He's the only guy that knows these kids personally, being here for their entire Wayne Hills careers. Pressler going to fade away from 18, no good. Rebounded by Quazza. And Moore is going to take it back the other way with 4 minutes to go. Garvin Jones over to Healy as they'll be in no rush here, up by 8.
4 minutes to go. Looks like Hills is going to need to put a little bit more pressure on at this point.
Well, they're in a man-to-man. 3:50 to go now in the 4th quarter. Quazza with the ball in the wing as the Goonies finally get something going. And they're going to call a foul on Matt Heskins. I don't know if I saw that one. It was ticky-tack. Refs continuing to call the game tight as that's the 8th team foul for Wayne Hills. And Connor Healy is going to get a chance to go to the line, shooting 1-1. His first free throw is good.
Certainly a factor from beyond the outside, but now showing his skills within as well.
So the teams have been pretty even from the line tonight. Neither of them getting there too often. Both not shooting particularly well from there as Healy drills the second. 3:40 to go. 10-point deficit for Wayne Hills. West Milford not budging on offense as they swing it for Drees. Nice athletic play to haul that one in. Haber makes a move, pulls up from the free throw line. No good. Rebounded by Healy. Not a good shot from Darius Haber. As they forget Coyle, and Coyle gets the 3-point play. Haber and Davies blew the defensive set, and Coyle gets in there for the 3-point play.
And there's another instance where the defense is deteriorating. Stamina definitely still playing a factor. Same 4 players in there. Darius Haber's been in and out. I mean, you saw Wills coming in the beginning of the 3rd quarter, but since then, it looks like Wills is about to go back in here. But besides that, the seniors really need to slow the tempo down and give themselves a breather.
Well, Wills is going to come back in for scoring purposes, replacing Darius Haber, who hasn't shot the ball well tonight. So Hill's going with the scorers now, down by 13, the biggest deficit they've faced tonight. Will's going to kick it to Pressler in the corner. Sam finally hits a 3. His first of the quarter. He missed a few shots in this quarter, and he finally repays himself with a 3-pointer there to cut it to 10, 60-50. West Milford with 2:57 to go. Pressler now with 6 points as they're going to call a push on Sam. And with that, West Milford going to get some free throws.
Sam looked like he got a bit of a boost of energy there, but with this foul, certainly came back down. I didn't see much of it. The referees, as you said earlier, definitely calling a tight game, John.
That's the 10th foul. So Healy's going to get, or Moorer, excuse me, is going to get 2 shots. That's Pressler's 4th foul. So both Dries and Pressler playing with 4 right now as Moorer drains it. He's got 12 points to lead the Highlanders, and he's short on the second. Davies with the board. Dries gonna give it to Wills. Wills back to Dries. Heskins pumps, and it's stolen away by Jones. Jones coming back, misses the layup, contested by Dries. Heskins gets it back. So Hills dodges a bullet as Dries gonna use the Davies screen. Heskins going to his strong side, the left. Pressler pulls up for 3 off the side of the backboard. He got decked into the fans. Quazza got a good piece of Pressler, no call there with 2:10 to go.
Wills is definitely needing to step it up here. He's definitely going to need to get rid of those butterflies as a freshman. He's kind of laid back right now, giving the pass off as soon as he gets it, but he definitely needs to take another shot like he did at the beginning of the third quarter.
Tight defense from Heskins. And they call a foul on Matt. No question about that one.
West Milford coach doing a little bit of acting along the sideline while Coach Pollock is just taking it relaxed, realizing that his team's down big here, needs to keep the morale up.
Yeah, he realizes they're down by 11, possibly more after the free throws. He's not going to get overexcited, as the West Milford coach just did.
With only 2 minutes left here, that 10 seconds lost by Mr. Mezzi on the little bit of the miscue before could begin to play a big role here if Wayne Hills goes on a roll.
Quazza hits the first free throw. And he misses the second, rebounded by Pressler. So Dries going to take it up, 1:56 to go. Dries pulls up from the stripe, kicks it out for Wills. Heskins from long range, and he hits it. Matt Heskins from 27 feet. And he pulls Wayne Hills to within 9. They're going to have to foul now.
I think they got a little bit of time left before they need to foul here, John. Peter Davies definitely playing a little too soft, though. Sitting back waiting for it to come to him. Not a good job by him at this late point in the game. Seems like that they're really going to need, I think, maybe bring in Corey Vanderploeg, put in somebody that can score, give Peter Davies a quick minute out, and bring him back in to finish the game, and hopefully Vanderploeg can bring it in. But on defense right now, the team's going to keep it out far, so I don't see the big need for Peter Davies.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tom. I mean, rebounding is important, but Peter's just been off his game tonight. And you can't afford for any of those bad passes that he's had so far. It's a 9-point deficit, not impossible, but certainly a tough chance for Wayne Hills. That was Heskins' second foul of the night. So he has 3 to give. So you'll see him around the ball as they're going to have to foul with 1:32. Coach Pollock talking a lot in the huddle, something we didn't see Coach Catalano do quite as much. He, like you said, keeping his composure, keeping the morale up. I like what he's done so far tonight. And in addition to that, he looks good too, wearing a nice white shirt with the maroon skinny tie. I like the look.
Definitely going very professional with his debut. Got to show up. I mean, with all these fans here, the athletic director and some of the other bigwigs, the principal, and other important people from our school.
Well, Davies commits the foul, and even if Coach Pollock loses his first game, you got to be impressed because the team played very hard for him. There's no question about it. These kids are huffing and puffing. They're not just playing for themselves. They're playing for a new coach. And they played hard last year, but you never know. Coach Catalano didn't exactly thrill the players last season as Coyle misses his first attempt as Pressler and Dries check back in. The 2 guys with 4 fouls, they won't be in there on defense as Matt Collum and Matt Greenfield got in there for the first time. Just dummies to try to commit the fouls. And
Good point there, John. It's at least it gives them the experience of being in the game with this bigger crowd. You know, the boos from the student section, get their composure up.
Dries pulls up and he hits it. Just what the doctor ordered for Wayne Hills. Pulls Wayne Hills to within 7 with 1:20 to go. Full court pressure as Heskins and Wills converge on Moorer. Pressler and Dries did not get a chance to come out of the game because of the missed shot. And they call the foul on Wills, his first.
Good call by coach there. Let him get in there and foul it, you know, give the other guys a chance to keep theirs down. Interesting, though, that he leaves Dries down low. I mean, they definitely need him to score. I don't know why you'd give him the opportunity to foul at all here. Yeah, no. We just have to change it to post-game.
Moore hits the second. 65-56. Heskins from long range. He hits it. Matt Heskins with another 3. And it's a 6-point game. 2 possessions. 1:03 to go. They're going with the full court press, and Coyle is able to break it. They're going to have to foul now as they swing it back over. Dries can't foul. No, don't. Ooh. Heskins gets in there. Dries was about to foul, and it's a good thing he didn't. Heskins came over to help. That's his 3rd.
Little sketchy there. Interesting to see, though. Scott Wills isn't really showing his speed too much here. I mean, he's just kind of taking his way out of place. He's definitely staying up court. You see Coach Pollock definitely moving him up there right now, looking for the big truck from Peter Davies or Sam Presley, both with bigger arms.
Well, as Healy hits the free throw, you're right. Scott Wills is trying to sneak behind the defense right now, as it almost worked, but Garvin Jones realizes it and gets back. But 54 seconds to go. Healy hits the second. So clutch free throw shooting so far for West Milford, keeping the sharp shooting Wayne Hills team out of reach. They give it down low for Davies. Stolen, saved by Quazza, and that's going to just about do it. With 44 seconds to go, Moorer will go to the line.
Heskins with his 4th. Now Dries and Heskins with 4 inside the paint there. Going to be quite interesting that he's leaving them both down there, you know, not pulling one of them out. I mean, you could definitely see Scott Wills' speed isn't really affecting this game. Chucking it up just isn't an option. I mean, you see back here Connor Healy along with number 33, Garvin Jones playing back deep. Definitely not providing an opportunity for Wills to get the ball. I'm very surprised that he doesn't let Dries come out and receive the ball here. Definitely with the speed. This is a point where they can't slow down the offense. They definitely need to keep the tempo up, and Dries has done that throughout the game.
Well, Tom, like you said, they can't afford chuck-ups right now, and that's exactly what they did. As Moore hits the second. 9-point game, 38 seconds to go. They cross-court pass it to Wills. They need 3s. They lose it. Heskins didn't get called for the backcourt. 27 to go. Heskins gets inside and lays it in. Heskins with 11 points in the quarter, as Wills is going to foul Coyle with 21 to go. It's a 7-point game.
I mean, Coyle with limited points, only 10 points in this game. Good job here. They didn't really try to do it. Actually, it looks like it's Jones. No, I'm sorry. It is Coyle to the line. But only with 10 points in this game. Definitely better from the free throw line. 4 out of the last 5.
Coyle no good on the first, so Tom, you jinxed them.
Glad I did, John. We could have used it right now.
7-point game, 21 seconds to go. Wayne Hill's going to have to hit their 3s. Coyle hits the second. Dries taking it up. They have to have a sense of urgency.
Pressler's got to put it up here.
Heskins going to chuck it up from the corner, and it's good. Look at Matt Heskins draining the 3s. Wills fouls him with 8 seconds to go. It's a 5-point game. So it looks to be out of reach, but some nice fight from Wayne Hills down the stretch.
Good to see Scott Wills at least getting used, at the least, to the playing tempo that he experiences a situation like this. I mean, these 4 seniors, as the games go on, they're going to get more and more grueling as the season goes on. Every team builds stamina. If they can't proceed to build that stamina, Scott Wills is going to play a huge role in late games.
Yeah, no question about it, Tom. Experience and crunch time down the stretch is invaluable for a freshman like Scott Wills. This is certainly going to help him down the road, even if they don't pull this one out, as Healy drains the second. And now they're going to call a timeout. We'll be back with the conclusion after this. Change tape quick. Change tape.
On first down, Horsell back to pass. Excellent protection all the time in the world. Looking downfield, looking for Van Peenan. Triple covered. Sticks it in there. Flags on the play. Van Peenan ahead to the 20. Looking for the sideline. He's across the 10 near the goal line. Dives. Touchdown, Ray Van Peenan.
Both teams entering into the court. Sorry for that short break. Going to be interesting to see here. 8.6 seconds left. See if they give it to Heskins. He's been big from outside the arc. Or whether Scott Wills.
Heskins now with, get this, Tom, 23 points. He put up most of those here in this fourth quarter. A huge night for him. So Drees going to pull up from downtown. No good. It goes out of bounds with 1.5 seconds, so that's going to just about do it. In a 6-point game, they'll dribble it out. Will's not going to foul. So in the debut of Coach Pollock and Scott Wills, Wayne Hills goes down to West Milford by a final score of 70-64. Tom, your thoughts on the game?
Well, John, I think both teams played a very hard-fought game. I mean, you had some big scorers. Like we said, Heskins, 23 points, most in the fourth quarter. Connor Healy, many threes in the first half, if I recall. And it just, especially Scott Wills, nice to see him check up that one from beyond the arc and get it in. And it just seems it was more of a good sense of family putting together from the Wayne Hills team, forming a family with bringing Scott Wills in, bringing in some dummy players just to get, the coach familiar with all the players, his playing style. It's really their first tough game. I mean, I believe they had a couple scrimmages, but nothing big. I mean, another big thing here tonight is without those big seniors of last year, the height differential definitely played a factor. Peter Davies, the only big man on the court, definitely fatigued. Right after the first half, he seemed tired. Still a little exhausted from his big football season. I mean, Heskins played a great game. Pressler, though, very quiet, supposed to be the leading scorer. I didn't see much from him tonight. Seemed like him and Wills were both playing from down low and just hiding out in that corner.
All great points, Tom. I agree. Pressler's going to have to step it up. 3 points tonight. He averaged around 13 last year. Obviously, he's going to do better as the season goes on. His shot was just a little bit off tonight. Heskins was hot in the fourth quarter, so that's good to see. But like you said, the experience of Scott Wills, very important. Davies and Drees are going to have to help. Are going to have to step it up. Drees had a good job tonight. 14 points for him. You can't really complain. But like you said, Davies is a key to this team's success this season. He's the biggest player. He's the strongest player, no question about it. He's going to have to play a lot better down low for them in order to win. But overall, not a bad performance. Obviously, Coach Pollock doesn't want a loss in his first game of the season. But nevertheless, a strong effort from a team that is going up against one of the better teams in the area in West Milford. They're going to be a force this season. Not an elite team, but certainly a very, very solid program. So that'll just about do it here from Wayne Hills High School. For Matt Riley, our cameraman, Tom Patania, my color guy, doing a great job in his first ever announcing appearance. I'm